make you one of our future graduates or make all of you our future graduates. It's the information session that we're holding today. And why choose Regenesys? My name, firstly, is Indrani Reddy. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at Regenesys. We're a group of companies and an ecosystem that supports the student life at Regenesys, from the business school to my team of esteemed academics that you'll get to meet today, as well as I use the word ecosystem. You've seen the Reg Cafe, so that's where we prepare healthy food to help our students have an alert mind. We have a wellness center at Regenesys that helps you get fit physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically to take up this challenge of being a student and balancing your life. We have My Wealth that really talks to our students' financial independence, teaching you how to trade, how to invest. We have a recruitment company called Denanda Talent that helps our graduates find better career pathing in their fields, respective fields. And we also help our currently employed students to get promoted wherever they are and find new opportunities for them as well. So Regenesys is your one-stop cradle-to-grave education institution. At Regenesys, we believe in the 5 Qs. We believe that IQ is essential and is inherent in every single human being. But we believe that in order to make an impact in the world, we need more than just IQ. So at Regenesys, we equip our students with emotional and spiritual quotients, because this, we believe, are the levers to going from a graduate or an employee to becoming a team member, a team leader. And what does EQ teach you? EQ teaches you mastery of self. And when you're aware of self, you're able to lead others. When you're able to lead others, you're able to contribute in a meaningful way and make greater impact in your organization. But now we're talking about bigger aspirations. You want to go into C-suites, right? What does it take to become a CEO, a CIO? What does it take to really make a contribution beyond yourself and your team? And we believe fundamentally the skills of unlocking and awakening your own potential lies in spiritual quotient. So we don't teach religion, but we teach you models that unlocks who am I and what am I here for, and that is aligned to purpose. And we believe very strongly that at Regenesys we churn out graduates that will become conscious leaders in the world to make greater impact beyond themselves, their pockets, and their teams. I mentioned the Wellness Center. That's the 4th Q, physical quotient. In order for me to execute, live, thrive, and strive in this world, I need this body, right? So this body needs to be physically fit, I need to be mentally agile, and I need to nurture my spirit. And this is where our Wellness Center comes into play. Now, so I can do things and I'm thriving, and I can contribute in the world. But now I want to be financially astute, and that is the 5th Q, which is financial quotient. And these 5 Qs underpins everything that we do with our students and how we deliver our courses to our students from undergrad, from our highest certificate, all the way to our doctorate program. Now, I would be doing an injustice if I take over what our academics are going to tell you about their qualification. And I want to introduce somebody really special that's joined us today. Her name is Amanda Du-Pont. If you can come up, Amanda. Amanda needs no introduction. She's a TV personality. She started her career in TV. She's been in broadcast. She's an entrepreneur as well. She's launched an entire skincare product range from her own journey as a teenager to this beautiful, intelligent woman that I see standing next to me. She really defines beauty with a purpose for me. And this is why we've invited Amanda today to join us at Regenesys and to be able to align our values and bring you into this room to endorse Regenesys and work as partners together. Over to you, Amanda, and then we'll start with our academic colleagues coming on board.
Thank you so much. That's such a lovely intro. I just want to welcome everyone here today and also congratulate you. You're here because you've made a decision to further your skills and take yourself one level up. I always say, education isn't everything, but it's important. It really gives you what other people don't have. And that's the journey of life, is constantly equipping yourself with skills. I wish I was as fortunate enough to have been in a university that looks as fabulous as this. This is really state of the art. And I love the things that Regenesys stands for. One of the things that I've learned in business is you could learn history of business or just the general education, but what people don't tell you is how to apply it. How do you turn numbers? How do you make profit? How do you take yourself a level higher than you were before? And those are things that I had to figure out on my own in a regular university. And here they're equipping you with skills to know who you are spiritually. They're already teaching you how important wellness is. Health is wealth. It's not just by chance that there's a gym here, you know? And what I love about this place so much is there's existing entrepreneurs, people who are already working. So this is an opportunity for you as well to increase your network, because you are your network. You don't have to work a regular job and earn what you're earning. Once you start to create networks, you build forces. You can perhaps build businesses with those people. And I feel really special, actually, being here. That means I've done something right. I've always wanted to push to not just be, you know, I was blessed in an art sense, but I come from a business background family, and I always felt like I never achieved enough. So that was the reason that I studied, got my degree. Don't be like me and get it for the wrong reasons. By chance, I use those skills. And also just to let you know, we are so far ahead academically compared to internationally. I was awarded a scholarship in New York, and I remember going on my first day, and what they were teaching was general knowledge for us. It's something we would learn in high school. So we really are miles ahead of everyone. Never feel when you meet other intellects from all over the world that you're less. And yeah, very, very excited to get the program going. If you're not sure what to be studying, our speakers will elaborate, and I'm very honored to be here today.
Thanks, Amanda. I think when you talk about the global stage and not looking at ourselves as less than in a third world country, and more importantly, not less than because we're on an African continent, talks to what we spoke about earlier. As you think, so you are.
Absolutely, and we need to remember that our magic is here. Africa is magic. Steve Harvey said to me, do you know why I keep coming back to South Africa? He was like, you guys have so much gold, and I think it's just realizing that half of being successful is believing that you are. The rest just falls into place. And I'm very, very excited for your careers, and I genuinely hope that you're not just going to equip yourself with education, but that you'll put it into practice. It's a shame to see a lot of educated people who don't end up putting it into practice. And if you do end up going to go and look for jobs afterwards, and this is a real thing, this is, I'm someone who studied, and we face these issues, right? Sometimes you're overqualified. In my own personal art space, I'm too overqualified. So even if I'm trying to push a barrier for a higher income, they were like, it's not that we don't recognize that you have the skills, we don't have more budget than that, but to push yourselves in the skills that you've learned here, to start to create your own forms of income.
I love what you say about that, Amanda, because more than just having a qualification, Regenesys equips our students to think bigger than where they are, and really push beyond boundaries of self-limiting beliefs. One of the ecosystems that we have at Regenesys has been personally launched by our chairperson, Dr. Marco Sharavanya, called Secrets of Success. And these are daily messages that he writes and sends out to our students, staff, alumni, and our network across the globe. And these range from entrepreneurship, fear, courage, love, spiritual focuses. And this is what is different. It's one of the unique things that make us very different at Regenesys. In those moments when you are not believing in yourself, for whatever reasons, and a lot of it is because of where we come from, or because who we are as Africans, yeah? And these are the messages that on a daily basis just reinforce why you are bigger than where you think you are. Wasn't it Nelson Mandela that quoted Marianne Williamson in his inauguration to say, our greatest fear isn't that we are too great, but that we forget, I'm not quoting it quite correctly, but it's our greatest fear is that we're unable to project how great we are, and we play small. And in playing small, we don't serve ourselves or the people around us.
Before we get the show rolling, I just want to say that education will give you the drive to make opportunities where there are none. So you may be already working at a business, but I want to encourage you to start your own businesses, to push yourself in entrepreneurship, and also remember that bad things that happen are great for business. So for us, there's never a bad time. And yeah, let's get this show started, and there's people way smarter than me in the room, so let's have them speak.
Thank you, Amanda. I want to introduce our smart man today, our dean, a very humble, highly intellectual individual, really amazing to work along with. And throughout his education, throughout his journey of education, he's also now embarked on his doctorate. And he's really the curator of the quality of our school, our faculty, all our course material, and everything that gets delivered in class, including our team of academics that report into him, until you get your qualification at the end of your term of study with us. Dean, I'm going to hand over to you. I'm not going to go through all your accolades. I'm going to hand over to you.
Thank you, Indrani, and good morning to everyone. I just want to welcome you and acknowledge you. I know you could have been elsewhere better, but you're here. And I also want to acknowledge and welcome everyone online from all over the world. My colleagues, they're also all over the world, and everyone else who's joining us. And my colleagues here, welcome. I know you can't wait to go to class, but you're here, and thank you. Amanda, special guest, welcome. Welcome. So I won't be too long, but my role here is really to give you some kind of context. I'll talk to you about a few things. And one is the role of higher education institutions broadly. And then I'll zoom in on Regenesys being private higher education institution. Among other things, you'd probably know that higher education institutions contribute immensely in terms of research. They contribute quite significantly in terms of teaching, learning and teaching as we call it. And also the contribution comes by way of community engagement. And those three pillars tend to sum up a whole lot of what education institutions, higher education institutions do. But above all of that, why do they exist? Why do we push all those pillars? We want to be to be agents of social change. They are agents of social change. We influence at so many levels, in so many different ways. We are agents of social change at an individual level. In other words, people who come through us and they go through programs, they experience that level of personal change. But also we're agents of organizational change, because those individuals, they go back to their organizations and communities and families and apply what they've learned, thus bring about change that's required, that's needed. But also socially, this couldn't be more relevant now in terms of the issues that we face as humanity. So education institutions, higher education institutions should contribute and are contributing in terms of addressing those. And I want to welcome you to be part of those that will go out and make an impact out there. We've observed over more than 20 years now, Regenesys has been in existence for over 20 years, and we've observed our graduates when they leave here. Obviously, some of them come here already well accomplished, but when they live here over a longer period of time, we notice that they go out to make positive change. And we want you to also be part of those. We want to look at you and be proud and say, this is one of us. Not for ourselves, but for the humanity. Regenesys exists to make the world a better place through quality higher education. I've never heard anyone who say they want bad quality education. So we promote higher education that's good quality. And of course, we are a private higher education institution. We're a South African institution that is, and we offer our programs globally. My colleagues will tell you more about those. So, we approach education, and just want to reflect on what Ms. Reddy said here. We approach education holistically. Those different intelligences she's talking about, we believe that sets us apart. Because yes, we know brain power is important, but there are many other intelligences which we can't forget. So we look at our students holistically. You are a complete being. You're not just a student number, but you are a person with a name. You are a person who's a mother, who's a sister, who's everything. And so we acknowledge that. And that comes across in the way in which we engage with you. But I want to talk about what she's already spoken about. Mine really is to give you a sense of what our graduates look like when they go out there. Because they need to stand out for something. So some of you will decide and enroll and be part of the programs, etc., and you will go out and be noticeable. And this is something we've noted over the years, that our graduates, when they go out, they are noticeable. They stand out. Some of them, you know them. We won't mention names, obviously, but you will be part of that. You will be part of those who influence how things happen, who influence policy, who influence decision-making, who contribute significantly in the economy. And so one of the ways in which our graduates stand out is their ability to think differently. Thinking is a skill. And so we harness that, we teach that, we support that, we give our students tools and models and ways in which they can think differently. That's what we need in this world, in this day and age. People who are able to apply their minds. That's why brain power is as important, because you still need to apply your mind and solve complex problems that we face in the world now. So for me, it's not so much about the actual qualification itself, but the ability for you to apply your knowledge. So what you learn could very well be a tool to help you solve problems out there. And so thinking differently is an attribute that we take pride in our graduates. As they go out, we know they are strong, mentally, they can contribute. But also, conscious leadership. This is yet again something that Ms. Reddy touched on. They go out there, our graduates that is, being conscious of everything that happens around them, including themselves. Because conscious leadership starts with knowing self, being conscious of yourself, your abilities, your inabilities, your strengths, etc. You and I know of great leaders, brilliant leaders in terms of being smart, but who behave in dodgy ways, who we read about in social media, in magazines, in newspapers, in terms of these social or corporate scandals. But brilliant individuals. So that's not what we want here. What we teach is leaders, we develop leaders who are able to be conscious, who are mindful of their environment, who are mindful of everything around them. But also, as you would know, leading consciously means there's a bigger purpose. There's a bigger picture within which you align yourself. That is spiritual quotient, which Ms. Reddy talked about already. There's a bigger picture. What does it all add up to? Yes, I have these qualifications. Yes, I have this high position. Yes, I have this organization and all of that. But what does it all add up to? What is the true north? So that's what we teach our graduates, our students, so that when they leave, they begin to apply those attributes. But also, we're very confident that our graduates are able to make decisions that are based on research. They are able to ground decisions on knowledge, on evidence. Simply put, our graduates are well read, and that's part of the design of the programs. My colleagues will tell you. By design of these qualifications, you are compelled to read, to be knowledgeable. When you leave us, it will be instilled in your mind. It will become a habit. You'll be, a lifelong learner, and you'll be well read. And so we take pride, we are proud of this. We are confident that when you join us and you go through our qualifications and you join these others who've gone through the same process, you will again display those attributes. And then, of course, there's the whole issue of the world becoming smaller, becoming a global village. I won't go into details of that, but that context requires the ability to harness diversity. So we can't just be comfortable with diversity, but we need to actively harness it, because that is where our strength lies. You don't want a graduate who is unable to work with other people when they leave. Those are the people who tend to be unemployable. So want people who are able to collaborate with others, people who are socially aware, people who are socially intelligent and who can collaborate. That's what we want. And by the way, this is not going to happen by miracle or some coincidence. It's something that's carefully crafted and planned and embedded in the curriculum, embedded in the study material that you will receive, in the way in which we engage with you in class, as we facilitate, as we teach, as we lecture, embedded in the way in which we assess you, because we want those to be a golden thread that runs across, because we want you to make a significant impact out there. So that is one of the graduate attributes, harnessing diversity. And of course, you want a certain decorum from someone who's come from this institution. When I say people stand out, you want to notice them for something, and there must be something that draws you to them. It could be the ability to articulate. It could be the element of being inspiring, but they need to comport themselves professionally, the way you come across. So we make you aware of that as well. So again, that's something you will encounter in your course as you go through, for those who would take up some of our programs. And of course, finally, is the ability to adapt. Adaptability is one attribute you require. So if you are a graduate that's not adaptable, bad news. You have to be able to adapt to different situations and circumstances and be effective wherever you are, because that talks to being a responsible global citizen. Remember, we also want you to think big, but act according to context. That's what we refer to as global approach. Think globally. We expose you to case studies. We expose you to faculty from international arena. We expose you to all that we can expose you to. But we still want you to be mindful of your current context and act accordingly. Make decisions on the basis of that. And then, of course, those are the graduate attributes. I just want to maybe, as we talked yesterday or the other day with Ms. Reddy, I need to bust a certain myth this morning. And one of those myths is that online education students are just there, deserted, they're on their own. That's not the case. It's a myth. At Regenesys, we take students quite seriously. It's in our best interest to do so. And so, as my colleagues will tell you, some of our qualifications are online, some are on contact, etc. And so our online students get attention, just as our contact students. We have online tutors, we have senior academics to support you academically. But also we have student support teams who support our students administratively. No excuses for you to, say, no, I didn't get any support, no one assisted me, etc., etc. But of course, I'm saying this being mindful of the terrain within which, different individuals, come from. It could be that you haven't been in the, higher education space for a while now, and you're a bit rusty. You're not sure anymore how to reference and how to write academically and all those things. And so we have a center here which we are relaunching with much more vigor now, which is called Academic Center of Excellence. That sort of bridges the gap between those who've been away for too long, outside of the academic space, but also those who've just matriculated, who may have anxieties, not knowing how to approach certain things. That center exists exactly for that. Academic writing, numeracy, all those things that help you bridge that sort of space. Because it's in our best interest that whoever is admitted should stand a good chance of being successful. Access for success, we call it. Of course, there may be other circumstances beyond control, but we'll do our best to support you. So that's a myth that students online don't really get support. We do support. We have online classes, which are live classes where you can ask questions, engage with your colleagues, your fellow students, and your faculty or facilitator or lecturer. And we invite guest speakers to come regularly. We'll have more this year to talk to you, industry sort of captains coming to class to share their knowledge with you. Some of those industry captains may be sitting here, and so some of them are former students who are, senior industry captains out there. So that's something I wanted to talk about. That is the student support, and of course, the fact that we do have contact and online, and both, modes are equally important to Regenesys. Remember the bigger picture, we're trying to make the world a better place through quality education, and therefore, it's in our best interest to make sure that we give you a fair chance to be successful. And so that's what I wanted to share with you this morning. And I hope you are already imagining yourself, those of you who may want to take up a qualification with us, you are already imagining yourself walking through the podium here with your gown, and we are hooding you and we are capping you, and people are ululating over there, we're shaking hands, there's cameras everywhere, these guys here will be here taking photos of you walking through, and everyone clapping. Imagine that. So I'll leave you with that picture in your mind. Thank you.
Dean, before you leave us, I do have a question for you.
Okay.
How accommodating are the programs for working professionals? I know you said you have live lectures. Should it happen that the students can't make those live lectures, do these lectures live on a file or a document that the working professionals can access them at any point?
Good question, Amanda. So 2 ways here, or 2 responses to your question. One is, yes, content is recorded. It's live, but it's recorded, meaning you can access it later on. But secondly, we have sort of flexible mode. We have, Saturday classes, which accommodate people who otherwise would not make it during the week. And we would also, in some qualifications, have evening classes for, again, to accommodate people who can't make it during the day. And so there's that sort of flexibility to accommodate such issues. Yeah, okay. COO is adding here. The videos will be available online. So on the same platform that you use as a student, you'll find content there, you'll find videos there. Those live lectures will be recorded and be available there, and additional sources, additional videos will also be available there.
Amazing, thank you. Round of applause for our Dean, explaining everything that the business school stands for. Next up, to speak more on the undergraduate program, I would love to introduce Miss Patience Nyoni. Round of applause for her, please.
So while Ms. Patience Nyoni is making it onto the screen, I'd just like to, Patience is one of those academics that don't just facilitate, she comes in with a wealth of experience working in the marketing space. She's worked internationally as well for CTI, focusing on the international students, and she's joined us in this capacity of having both exposure in academic as well as real-life chartered marketing. And this brings a wealth of experience to our students in the classroom, letting them know how it's done in the real world and how marketing has evolved from traditional marketing to what we're doing now digitally. To further support our students, we also host masterclasses, and we bring in industry captains at the end of a semester to further vet what you've learned practically and to show you more than just career pathing, but insight into how it works in the real world. Over to you, Patience.
Thank you very much, Indrani. Good morning, managers. Good morning, managers. I can see you are really shocked. No one has ever addressed you as a manager, but welcome to the world of management. I am addressing you as a manager today because you are a future manager. So I'm going to take you through our undergraduate faculty. So welcome, everyone. Just sit back, relax, so that you can have information that can help you to make an informed decision. You should be anxious about your future. Some of you has just finished your matric. You are confused. You don't know what is the next step that you are going to take. Some of you have actually completed their undergrad qualification and you want to go to the next qualification. I'm here to give you a solution. Regenesys is a solution to your beautiful problem. We are here as Regenesys, as an institution that also has a global footprint. Like Amanda said, our qualifications are well recognized, and you'd find that some of our former graduates, they are actually also working and competing in the global arena. So we are focusing on global excellence. What are the qualifications that we have for our undergraduate qualifications? We have 6 qualifications under our business faculty. The first 3 are the certificate qualifications. Higher certificate in business management. Higher certificate in business management in retail management. Higher certificate in business management in credit management. So as you can see, we have a 1 general higher certificate qualification, and then we have 2 specialized higher certificate qualifications in the retail sector and also in the finance sector or the banking sector or any other financial institutions. And then directly aligned to those certificates, we have the bachelor's qualifications. 1, Bachelor of Business Administration. Then Bachelor of Business Administration in Banking. Bachelor of Business Administration in Retail Management. So you can actually make a choice from any of these qualifications, but I'm also going to take you through our entry requirements so that you can actually see where you fit in or what is your entry point. And you'd find that these qualifications, they have been tailor-made to suit your different needs. We understand each and every one of us, we have got different passions, different goals, so these qualifications cater for different individuals. Okay, so what exactly do our higher certificates qualification entails? As I have indicated, the higher certificate in business management opens opportunities for you in the corporate world. So it equips you with the general business management acumen. The world out there is very competitive. As such, it really needs managers that are going to distinctively position themselves in that competitive arena. So it's going to open for you opportunities for junior management in the corporate world. And then the specialized higher certificates, that is in retail and credit banking, they will also give you skills for you to navigate in the banking arena or in the retail industry. Especially the retail industry, it's growing, but we don't have people with the right qualifications. So you'd find that it's going to open opportunities for you. These are 1-year qualifications and a maximum of 2 years. So they also open opportunities for you for professional growth or for career growth. Because you'd find that nowadays, guys, we are no longer talking about specialization. We want people that are able to navigate in any world. So these qualifications will do exactly that. And then going to our bachelor's qualifications. So you'd find that our bachelor's qualifications, there are 3 years qualifications like I have indicated, and you would find that maximum of 5 years, and they will open opportunities for you to be able to acquire or maybe to hold middle management to senior management positions. For me, what I always say with qualifications, we can all get qualifications, but what you're going to do with the qualification matters. Your personality, your attitude, it also matters. So what our dean has been speaking to and our CEOs in Rand has been alluding to, looking at our graduate attributes, they become very handy in differentiating you as a future graduate who is going to be able to navigate in the competitive arena with the right skills, with the right mindset, with the right attitude. We help learners to be critical thinkers as Regenesys. You'd find that in the learning space, we create what we call cognitive dissonance. Your knowledge is going to be challenged. So in such a way that learning will take place and behavior change will take place. Okay, sorry, let me just go to the next one. Okay, what are the entry criteria? I think this is the golden question for each and every one of us here. So I'm focusing on the undergraduate qualifications. So our entry criteria, you'll find that for anyone who'd like to enter any of our bachelor's qualification, you need to have matric certificate with a degree endorsement. For the higher certificate, matric with a certificate or diploma endorsement. You can also apply via the matriculation board for exemption certificate. Who are some of the people that can apply to the matriculation exemption board? We are looking at somebody who may be 45 years plus. So if you are 45 plus, we are not going to even ask you for a matric certificate. We simply just need your ID. Are we doing this for convenience? No. As Regenesys, we align ourselves to the entry criteria that has been stipulated by Council on Higher Education. So this is actually aligned to admission criteria or policies here in South Africa. So you apply for that exemption certificate from the matriculation body. Foreign students holding foreign qualifications, you can also apply to the matriculation body for them to verify your qualification so that it can be aligned or benchmarked to the local qualification. And then as Regenesys, we also have our admission policies. So we also verify your application using also the internal policies, but of course they are guided by the general admission criteria that we have here in South Africa. Then the SAQA, foreign students with foreign qualifications, you can also apply to SAQA to get your SAQA certificate. Okay, and then what are some of the progression channels that we have? So you'd find that after you complete any of our higher certificate, you can actually articulate in any other higher certificate or diploma qualifications that are NQF level. So you can actually go to any other qualification at the same level. You can actually also articulate vertically, go to a higher qualification that is now the bachelor's qualification, either a general one or any other bachelor's qualification. But of course, for other specialized bachelor's qualifications, you need also to meet the minimum criteria. And then for our bachelor's qualifications, again, you can articulate horizontally in any other bachelor's qualification or vertically into our postgraduate diploma in business management or any other postgraduate qualification, should you also meet the minimum requirements for any other specialized qualifications. And then, why should you actually consider Regenesys for your qualifications or to advance your career or your qualifications? Regenesys has qualified academics. So this on its own means that you're going to meet somebody who is knowledgeable, somebody who is going to give you more insights into, what you are trying to acquire. As Regenesys, we are also looking at branding you. So we are not just looking at another graduate with a qualification, because we have got so many graduates out there holding qualifications, stuck with qualifications. They don't know what to do with the qualifications. So as Regenesys, we brand you. How do we do that? Our dean spoke about our graduate attributes. Those are the differentiating factors. For example, critical thinking. We want you to be able to think critically. Comport yourself professionally. We want you to be able to carry yourself professionally. So those are some of the brand attributes that are going to differentiate you from any other graduate that may be holding a similar qualification. Our dean also spoke about the support system that we have. You'd find that it's very uncomfortable for a new student in a new environment. You are stuck. You don't know what to do. Regenesys, we come on board, handhold you from the time you start your qualification for the entire duration of your academic journey. We are interested in you as an individual. You are not just a number, but we are passionate about your vision. and we are actually there to support you. But of course, you also need to do your work. We will not be able to do any work for you. Okay. And then you also find that it's an opportunity for you to network. Amanda also spoke about networking. The world is now, driven by networking. Even from a marketing perspective, is driven by networking. Like today, you have had an opportunity to meet new people. How many numbers have you taken? Every time you are at a gathering, you should make it a point to get a new number. You may never know. One day, you may want to use that number. You may never know. You may be sitting with your classmate right here, right now. So please, use this opportunity to network. As Regenesys, we are privileged to have prominent business people or people holding very high positions in the business arena, in the public sector, that have walked past our doors or that are still with us. So you are going to have that opportunity to network with such people. You also have an opportunity to network with people from other cultures, because as Regenesys, we embrace diversity. So thank you very much for being here today. I hope you are going to make an informed decision and we'll meet in class. Thank you.
Let's give it up for Miss Patience and Yoni. Don't go just yet. Let me tell you, anyone who's taught by you is extremely fortunate. Extremely. She exudes such passion. This is not normal. Most lectures sound like they're teaching you while falling asleep. This woman is extremely passionate about what she does. She's already making you believe who you are. And I just want to add on what you said. She said, good morning, managers, and I want to say good morning, CEOs.
Wow.
Are there no CEOs here today? Good morning, CEOs. That's right. Good morning, millionaires. We got any billionaires here? That's right. Good morning, billionaires. And that's it. That's what we want to do, is we want to push you to the next level. That's what it's all about. Patience, I have a question.
Yes.
Not everyone in the beginning of their journey is maybe got a matric, or maybe they didn't study for a long time. Is there an exam that they have to write as part of the criteria to be accepted into a degree?
Thank you very much for that question. So as I've indicated to say, we also align ourselves to our admission policies, the Regenesys admission policies, but of course those policies, Amanda, they are informed by the overall admission policies here in South Africa that are stipulated by CHE. We also consider somebody who is 23 years and above. That also has 5 years working experience and attempted matric. So those are some of the criteria that we also look at. And then of course—
My shoulders relaxed when she said that. That's all I wanted to know. So if you've been working, that's good enough. You're able to assess what someone has done in their professional career and accept them into the program.
Yes, but they should have also attempted matric. And like I also indicated, somebody can also be actually 45. They've never had an opportunity, because we should not be blind to the socio-economic challenges that we have here in South Africa. So those people, you'd find that there is actually an age exemption policy in South Africa that we apply. So for such individuals, we don't need anything, no matric, no grade 1 or 0, whatever. We only need your ID, and they apply for an age exemption certificate from the matriculation board here in South Africa.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Patience. You are one of a few, and it really is a blessing to have you in an education space. All right, so next up, I'd like to welcome Dr. Ngoni Shuro, who's going to tell us about the BCom degree. I hope you're all awake and listening. This is obviously to better you, so do try and concentrate. Round of applause for the doctor. Ish, guys, Nami, one day I'm going to be a doctor, yes?
Good morning, everyone. After Patient's presentation, I need to keep up with the pace. Right, welcome everyone. I'm going to talk about BCom accounting. That's what I'm talking about. For us, okay, I'm going to say why Regenesys. That is what I'm going to say. Why Regenesys? We offer a professional accountant degree. That's what we offer. It competes in the market, it competes internationally, and it's also accredited. That is the most critical, important thing with any accounting degree, is the accreditation. The degree is accredited, so you can go to anywhere, you apply for inclusion to become a professional accountant. Fortunately for Regenesys, we are accredited with CYBA, a now known CIBA, South African Institute of Business Accountants. That is what we are accredited with. But you can go to any other institute, they'll tell you their requirements for you to register with them. The other issue which we need to talk about is they will uphold the values of integrity in our program. That is what we value mostly. We uphold those values. And also in our questions, they become more practical. They are not theoretical, but they bring the practical side to it to say, what do you experience on a day-to-day and what is happening in the market? For everyone knows that the accounting profession is under pressure for non-ethical transactions which have happened recently. You open the newspaper, we have got a lot. People are talking of ESCOM, the load shedding, there's accounting there. So what we train and what we teach is always ethics that distinguishes us, Regenesys, from any other institution, that we focus mostly on integrity. We are more practical. It's not theory, but the practical examples. The other issue is we will look at is why Regenesys is, the other is student support. Is that what we offer? We offer student support. We have got two programs which we offer. One is conduct and one is online. That is what we offer. The online, there's no difference between online and conduct. The difference is that one is on the other side, the other one is on the other side in terms of computers. But you ask a question, is an interactive basis which we have got, and everything is interactive. You can ask a question. There's always, the times are also catered that people are working, we can do it after hours, and also there are weekend classes, as the dean said. And the other important thing, the staff members are highly qualified, and we offer a global perspective in everything which we do. The lastly and final is that our program has got all the four key elements, which is financial accounting, auditing, management, and taxation. But above all, we offer what we call the soft skills, which are important in accounting. The soft skills are becoming very key because they prepare accountants for anything, for leadership position. No longer that the accountant, previously accountants were bookish people. Accountants were said, you are number people, but nowadays accountants are no longer number people. They become the leaders and everything. And we wish you success in everything. If you embark in this program, we offer support, 24-hour support. We've got a turnaround period for all the emails, all the queries. There's a turnaround period. Don't think that if you go for online or a conduct, the only relationship is during the lecture. Even after the lecture, even after the facilitation, there's support for the students. I think that's all what we have got.
I would like to know, what do you have planned to equip students with the skills in real life? What are you offering them that they will be able to apply what they learn and turn it into some serious wealth?
Okay, what do? We have got projects which we give students, which are real life projects, assignments, which talk about exactly what's happening in the market. And for example, one of the assignments we will give, say, how do you deal with ESCOM? How do you turn around? Because we want to be more practical. We don't want people who say, I'll turn around this, I'll turn around this. We want to be more practical. What's in our doorsteps? What are we facing as a country? What are we facing in our day-to-day?
That's amazing. It's so important that you are teaching it on relevance. So often in education systems, they teach us history, which is great. It's great to equip yourself with history to know what the future is like. But we want to know how to adapt our knowledge now, in situations now. So I love that you're using current situations. So big round of applause for Dr. Ngoni. Thank you.
And watch the space. A Regenesys graduate is going to have the solution for your load shedding issues.
I would love that. Is that me that's having the solution? I hope not me, someone else in the audience. What I love so much about Regenesys is they make it a point to get you lectures that have practiced in the field. Personally, when I was in university, there is nothing, my pet peeve was listening to someone who's never operated in the field. Me, I do not want to listen to you. I'm like, what have you done in the sector? Do you know what I mean? How much money have you made? How have you applied what you're teaching me? It's very difficult for me to digest that kind of information if you haven't put that information into practice, because that's what this is all about. We are not looking to be educated and just sitting with our qualifications at home baking cakes. No, we're looking to build wealth. And that's why I'm so excited to introduce our next speaker, which is Advocate Kevin Malunga. He is the academic head of the law faculty. Advocate Kevin Malunga has served South Africa in a range of high-profile posts. Among them, Deputy Public Protector, Acting Chief of Staff in the Office of the Chief Justice, and as advisor on state law policy. He's an independent advisor to the private sector, and I actually can't read this paragraph because he has way too many accolades. And that's what I'm saying. So this is someone who's practiced. Do you know what I mean? You will be able to take those skills because he's worked in the sector. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to Advocate Kevin Malunga.
Thank you, Amanda. You pronounced my surname the Swazi way. You know, I lived in Swaziland for many years. I was telling your sister, and the Swazi and the Zulu way, the proper way, actually. So, thank you very much to you, MC, and let me acknowledge the COO, the Dean, and of course, all the wonderful people who have come out of darkness into the light, out of the darkness, ESCOM, into the light at Regenesys. So yes, your potential is being awakened this morning. And I was slightly late because I thought we're starting at 11 like last week. Apologies for that. We are starting a new program, entirely brand new program. You know what it's like to wear new shoes, get into a new car, you know, buy a new shirt, you know, that feeling, you know that feeling, right? So that's the feeling that we're going to give you with this new program, that is the new LLB, the new Regenesys LLB. And it is it's a program that has undergone a rigorous accreditation processes from the Council on Higher Education. And it has then subsequently been accredited by the South African Qualifications Authority, which is known as SAQA. And that's it. As I said, if I could go and sit down right now, because in terms of qualifications in South Africa, that is really what you need for a qualification to be valid. But let me keep going. It has also been endorsed by the Legal Practice Council, which a month ago stood right here where I'm standing and endorsed the program. In other words, people have been asking, will we get jobs? What are we going to do? That's something that you shouldn't be worried about. One of my projects when I was state law advisor was to transform the legal profession into what it is now, right? So, in other words, removing the bottlenecks and ensuring that there's more access to the profession. And one of the things that we did was to ensure that more people can, there are more avenues for the practice of law, more bar councils, more avenues for that. And that is exactly what is happening right now. And so this is an access to justice project where we're giving more people access to the law. As people say, don't talk to me, talk to my lawyer. In future, you'll be saying, talk to me. All right? So the question then is, why law? Law intersects with almost every aspect of life, your work, your family, finances, shelter, whatever. Whatever you do, from the moment you woke up this morning or from the moment you were born, it is the law that you must be registered, you must acquire a nationality. When you get married, when you die, it just keeps following you, all right? A number of things that I can list here that require the intersection of law, work, family, finances, shelter, and I said, and of course, you need the law for every facet of your life. But I've only got 6 minutes, so I'll be very quick. It's very present in our daily life, and we can't do anything without it. If I give you an example, when you get out of here and you go to Edgar's after this session, I dare you to walk out with that pair of shoes that you like without paying for them. You will have broken the law. So that's not what we want. So a lot of things, I could go on and on and on. Just think, just make a list of the things that you do every day and align them to the law. And of course, the point I'm making is that most of the world's biggest and smallest problems are ultimately legal problems. And as I said, marriages, divorces, domestic violence, motor vehicles, whatever, climate change, the war in Ukraine, whatever you want to think about, there's law somewhere in it. However, the Regenesys degree will not be business as usual. As I said, it's accredited by the Council on Higher Education. It promises to provide robust training in legal practice and knowledge to produce a cream of the crop legal professionals anywhere in the Southern Africa region. It's right here in the hub of Sandton, and of course, I think I've got permission to let the cat out of the bag. We are also going to have a law clinic at some point where we will also give people practical experience to help people who we call indigent people who are of limited means, to take on their legal challenges. And I think Miss Alison Laxton, I saw her, who heads our legal and HR, is here. She'll answer some of those questions for you. And of course, this is a law degree of the highest quality and standard. It will ensure that people are trained in all aspects of the law that are required to practice law in South Africa or enter any field within the legal sphere within this region and globally. And of course, the point is, you don't necessarily have to be a lawyer after doing law, but would love that you do that, but you don't have to be. Amanda, you can register for it. You don't have to be. You can continue in your sector. And of course, there's a very sensitive emphasis on ethics, personal purpose, and spiritual and emotional intelligence, because we don't just want bookish people. And I think Ms. Nyoni has eloquently stated that. Everybody can read a book. Is there anybody who can read a book in here? Of course you can. But so we want to give you that chutzpah, that extra mile that says, hey, this person, when you walk into a room, you will make that difference. So that's okay, and I run out of time. So this year's courses, of course, the LLB is a 4-year program, but this year's courses for first year will be computer literacy, legal English, pillars of South African law, law of persons, family law, which are going to be taken in semester 1. And then, of course, semester 2, which is compulsory. Again, computer literacy, legal research, pillars of South African law 2, emotional and spiritual intelligence. And of course, we've got business management, economics, and financial accounting. So there are many other courses coming over the 4 years. And of course, eligibility, you must have a NQF level 4 matric qualification, endorsed with an admission to a bachelor's degree. And of course, for the older among you, the topies, as we used to say, from pre-2008, you have a National Senior Certificate with at least 18 matric points, or for, and of course for the post 2008, at least 26 points. And of course, in both cases, a minimum C symbol or 60% passes in English and maths. And of course, those who are over 45, I think the process has been explained. The LLB is a 4-year qualification. It's an NQF level qualification with 480 credits, and the method of delivery will be contact and online. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Advocate. Before you sit down, I'd like to, I don't know if I'm asking you a question or posing a challenge. This is brand new, so brand new also means new rules, right? Mm-hmm. People face issues and also face legal things. Is it possible that if you are a student of Regenesys, that they can have credits for legal help, be it a marriage, a divorce, and one dispute, that perhaps it is your postgraduate students, but is it possible to put something in place that if you are part of the faculty, that you can get free legal help, even if it's 1 credit or 3 credits?
I think I won't speak for Ms. Laxton, who's somewhere here, but the law clinics, I think generally that's the rationale for law clinics, to say, look, if you can't afford
25,000 for one email for attorney to reply.
Yes. And as you know, lawyers charge by the hour and by the day. So the idea would be obviously that, you know, I think our people who are close to us will get first bite at the cherry. I would think so. But I don't want to preempt. I think the COO and Ms. Laxton will clarify that. But law clinics generally try and close that gap.
So certainly, I want to be bold enough to say, yes, we can, right?
Yes! Are you not going to join now? You're going to get free legal help. Thank you, Amanda.
So we just registered our law clinic last week, even before our program has started. So we're very committed. Remember, those that were here early enough heard me talk about this ecosystem at Regenesys, our support around our students, our development around the students. You heard the Dean talk about ACE, right? So we want you to ace your studies. What is ACE again? Academic Center of Excellence, to support you in how you write your assignments, in how you understand numeracy, to be able to excel in BComt, to be able to understand professional writing skills, to handle the volumes that you deal with in the law qualification. So if our ecosystem is bolstered around the support for the student, why would we not want to help our own students with their battles as well?
That is fantastic. Thank you so much. You know, you may not realize what a big commitment they've just made, but if you're looking to start a business and you need something as simple as a shareholders agreement put together, or there's something really holding you back, a marriage agreement or a divorce agreement, or you having a property dispute, these things can really set you back financially. And the reason I pushed for it is because I want to create a space where you're able to propel yourself forward and not have certain things hold you back. Now, if you have all the tools in one place and you're able, there should be something amazing about law being offered here, and you should be able to use it even if you're not studying that. So thank you for that. That's incredible. All right, so next up, I'd like to introduce Mr. Deirdricks, to tell us about the School of Public Management. Henk is Regenesys Deputy Chief Academic Officer. He represents the School of Public Management. Round of applause for him, please.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the warm welcome. Unlike my legal colleagues, we in the public sector, we do not charge per hour, we charge for work done. So I will try not to take up too much of your valuable time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to stand before you today and to give you a brief breakdown of the School of Public Management. It's become an important leg of the Regenesys business as a whole. It's been part of Regenesys since the very beginning. For over 20 years, the School of Public Management has been one of the driving forces of Regenesys. So the public sector. What is the public sector? We all know, we've all heard the word, but what is it? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the state departments, government departments that provide services and implement policies that impact on our daily lives. It plays a very vital role in education. We all know the matric results are coming out next week. This would not be possible without the services of the public sector. Healthcare, we all know the challenges we're experiencing in healthcare. Infrastructure. I don't have to repeat what my colleagues have said about Eskom earlier today, but we all know that infrastructure plays a very vital part of our country and is currently affecting all of our lives. And then finally, social welfare. So as you can see, it becomes the backbone of our country, and it's a duty of each and every one of us to actually make a difference. And that is where Regenesys is hoping to play a vital role. Now, we all know that the public sector has been faced with a number of challenges over the past 20 to 25 years. These challenges include things like corruption, inefficiency, infighting, and then a lack of capacity. Now, the government has implemented various initiatives to address these challenges, but there is unfortunately still a very, very long way to go. Currently, it is estimated that due to corruption in the public sector, this country has lost, over the past 3 years, an estimated 1.5 trillion rand. I say that again, 1.5 trillion rand has been lost due to corruption over the past 3 years. That's almost an unfathomable figure. I don't think I can even count that high. And that has reduced our gross domestic product by over 4% annually. What are the implications of this? Ladies and gentlemen, it is affecting each and every one of us. It's having an impact on growth in this country, the economy, general inflation, and generally our morale in this country. We become negative when we listen to these sort of things. We become disillusioned with government. And this is where Regenesys is aiming to make a difference. We are aiming to become the agents of change in this country. We're not going to sit back and say, we are just accepting these figures. We're not just accepting these challenges. We are here to make a difference. And that difference will be driven through education. Now, currently, the public sector comprises of about 14% of the total formal employment sector. That equates to about 1.3 million people that are formally employed in this country work in the public sector. And it's estimated that they grow, or that figure grows by 6% per annum. Right, so how do we aim to address this? Regenesys, as I've said, has 20 years of experience within this market, and currently we have over 1,300 students registered within our various public sector programs. Our alumni from the School of Public Management that my colleagues have alluded to earlier today do include former and current MECs, ministers, and local government officials. In other words, mayors of our various municipalities. And I'm sure that as I look around this room today, that there are some future leaders within the public sector also sitting here right in this room. So what does Regenesys offer in terms of the public sector, in terms of our qualifications? We offer undergrad programs such as a higher certificate at an NQF level 5, Ladies and gentlemen, this is our entry-level qualification. It teaches us the fundamentals required for you to be able to work within the public sector. It is an NQF Level 5 qualification consisting of 120 credits and can be completed within 12 months. Some of the areas of focus within this program include public management, public human resource management, public policy management, and then, of course, the all-important financial management. Next, we have the Bachelor of Public Management. This is an NQF Level 7 qualification. This is a 3-year degree, ladies and gentlemen, for public sector officials, and is aimed at providing you with the generic management skills required to manage a department or a local government sector or let me fall over my words there. It enables you to manage public sector and local government departments. Right. Then our National Diploma in Public Administration. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for those of you that have been working within the public sector for the past how many years? We are looking specifically at your experience within the public sector, as well as any other qualifications that you may have. So what this program aims to do is to address challenges that you may have experienced in the past with qualifications, with access to education. So we're aiming here to provide you with access to our postgraduate programs by providing a bridging qualification based on your current experience as well as current qualifications. So for example, should you have a 2-year qualification like a diploma in the past, or higher certificate or national certificates in the past, you may then enter this program and walk out with a NQF Level 7 qualification, which is equivalent to the bachelor degree, and have the same access to your postgraduate diplomas and master's degrees. Right, ladies and gentlemen, then we come to our postgraduate programs. Firstly, we have our postgraduate diploma in public management. Here we aim to develop advanced management skills on a strategic level. So the entry requirements here will be that you have a NQF Level 7 qualification, that being said, a degree or the national diploma I spoke of previously. This is an NQF Level 8 qualification consisting of 120 credits and will then be delivered over a minimum of 12 months. And should you really want to challenge yourself and move into not just a strategic level, but also become a driving force in terms of leadership in this country, we offer the Master of Public Management, which offers you next level insights and recognition within the public sector. This is an NQF Level 9 qualification and consists of 200 credits and is run over a minimum of 2 years. As my colleague has also alluded to earlier, we do have vertical and horizontal articulation pathways. So if you have completed any of these qualifications or should wish to enter any of these qualifications, your bachelor's degrees and diplomas in other sectors will be accepted as entry or entry recognitions. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all from my side. I thank you for your time, and I hand back over to our COO.
Before you sit down, I
Amanda,
do have
still.
a question. You know, as he was speaking, guys, the public sector stresses me so much. I was just like, ESCOM, petrol. But I have a genuine question. What we're finding is overqualified students who have studied and are equipped to be in high positions, but how do I say this in the most respectable way, is people who are not competent are running the show. Is there a solution that Regenesys can maybe offer? And I don't expect you to, obviously, no one Nobody owes you to create an opportunity for you. That's the first thing that I need you to realize. So you should never be expectant. You should always hustle and get things on your own. But what I would like to ask, is there on the field training, even if it's just like a 3-week practical, that the students who've studied in the sector can go on the ground and maybe create networks themselves, even if it's job shadowing in existing public sector jobs? Because that way they're able to build a rapport and show themselves. How do we make sure that the people studying in this faculty end up working?
Yes, Amanda. We at Regenesys have a division called Corporate Ed. Now, Corporate Ed, one of the main areas of focus for Corporate Ed is specifically in the public sector. With Corporate Ed, we allow for government-funded short programs that actually focus specifically on areas of shortcomings within the public sector. So government would identify certain areas where they feel that further training and development is required. They would, through public sector procurement practices, would request for training and development in these areas, and Regenesys then can actually customize courses to enable public sector officials to get the correct value from short programs and make sure that these deficiencies are addressed correctly.
Can we offer them an exchange? Because this sounds like they're coming here to learn and get the skills. But what I'm trying to do is, of course, push the students at home to learn there.
Yeah, so most of our programs are offered online, obviously, and specifically in the public sector, we aim to also go to the people. We do not just sit here in our offices and sit here in our classrooms as on this lovely campus.
Amazing.
And actually provide training and development or education here on site. We actually go to the outlying areas. We've got many of our students sitting in the far reaches of Mpumalanga, the far reaches of Limpopo, in rural areas, and these students are being developed through in-person, on-site training.
Perfect. Well answered. Thank you so much, Henk. Round of applause for Henk, please.
It's a pleasure.
And now for my favorite, for the serious people. One day I'm going to be this. All right, next up, I would like to introduce to you Dr. Barry van der Westhuizen, and he will tell us about the postgraduate. Dr. van der Westhuizen is both an accomplished academic and an entrepreneur. Prior to joining Regenesys, his long career in academia includes being at the Mill Park Business School. A former Air Force officer, he's worked as a consultant in business and in various directorial roles. He holds a double doctorate in strategy, implementation, and business yeah, round of applause, please. Double. Come on. So he'll be catering to our honors and MBA students.
Good morning and thank you.
Morning.
I'll keep it short. Firstly, good morning, future leaders. I need a little bit stronger than that. If you're going to do our postgraduate degrees with us, we need energy. So, good morning, future leaders. That's a bit better, right? So, Martin Luther King said, "I have a dream." Ladies and gentlemen, we all have a dream. You have a dream. And it's not a dream to be a laissez-faire future person. It's to be an Olympic gold medalist. That's why you're here. That's why you're going to put in the blood, sweat, and tears to go post-grad and be one of the best. Our dream is to take you there. And how are we going to do it? We've got of the finest academics, and I'm not going to speak too much about that, as my erudite colleagues have already alluded to. But our academics are well grounded in academia, but also in business, in the nuts and bolts and the mature reason to do business. We want to see you go out there, challenge the future, push the future forward, make a change, and yes, ethically, which we need in this country. You're going to be exposed to highly qualified people from a multidisciplinary background. It's not uniform. I have tremendous colleagues based here in South Africa, all the way through to India, tremendous academics. And the value add for you is at any point in time, you can reach out to any one of us and speak to us. As alluded to earlier on, being online does not preclude you from reaching out to us or speaking to your colleagues. Because we have such good students coming in here, you will learn so much from your fellow students as well. So why Regenesys, ladies and gentlemen? Simply because we are the future. We will give you the best, and you will achieve the best because you are the best. That's why you're here. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Barry. I think we reached the end of our academic introduction. Welcome to those that I saw coming in at this juncture. We have our sales team at the back. We have our legal practitioners here in Dr. Advocate Malunga as well as Alison Laxton that will address your queries on the law qualification. But I'd just like us to recap for those that have just joined us, right? Amanda, you're quite new to our podium today, so you join me. And let's just recap some of the things that we've done this morning, right? We've introduced, so I'm gonna put Amanda on the spot now, okay? So we've introduced quite a few concepts to our students. So tell me what stands out for you the most. And I'm gonna pass this mic around. This is the part where I get to be Oprah and hand out prizes too. Okay, so, and then we'll ask some questions to our students that's here. Online students, please start posting on your chat so that we can respond to you as well. What stands out the most for you about Regenesys from this morning, Amanda?
This is so much pressure. It's like to prove if I was concentrating. What the hell? I really feel like I'm in class already. I'm enrolled. What stands out for me, that this is a business school and the fact that Regenesys will be offering law. I think law ties into so many aspects of business. And I think that's great. And I think that even if you're studying, let's say a BCom, for instance, you'll be able to grasp certain things and use the other students for things that you need in your own business. What also stands out for me is that Regenesys is open to working professionals. So even if you don't have a matric certificate, or if you've been working a couple of years, they really are willing to work around you and respect you if you've been working. They're not going to not allow you into a program because you failed a silly test. So I love that it's open to entrepreneurs. I love that it's so well-rounded. This place teaches you that business is not books. It teaches you to know who you are. It teaches you to figure out what your spiritual realm is and be grounded in that. It teaches you skills to come out and above everyone else, and that's what you got to learn. Yeah, I mean, what it's taught, what I feel like I could learn more, and I thought I was doing great. I'm 34, I'm a CEO, like, woo! And I feel like there's so much more that I can equip myself with. And just announcing our doctor who has a double doctorate, I was so proud. And that's the feeling that you can get for yourself. And I think if anything, I've left motivated. I really hope that you all make something of yourselves. I hope you make yourselves proud. I hope you make your families proud, and I hope you take your life to the next level. I hope you live a life of meaning. Regenesys is also a place of meaning. Our COO, help me pronounce your name correctly. Indarani. She herself does some phenomenal work of offering the same education to underprivileged people. So they are already practicing in purpose.
It for all you're talking about, right?
Yes. And that's what you're going to learn here, is just moving in purpose. Yes, make a success of yourself, but when you pass away someday, what did you live for? Be a legend. What did you change? And I know we made a joke about our ESCOM situation, but if you're studying that faculty and you don't actually make a physical change, what's the point? Make a difference, and I'm very, very excited for your future, and I'm inspired as well from today.
Thank you, Amanda. Now, Amanda's going to be on her journey, right? So soon, sometimes I already see Amanda with the graduation cap, gown, making her way onto doctorate. Can you imagine it, Amanda?
It's so funny she says that.
You have to imagine it, because these are the students that we have to empower to get onto, whether it be an HCBM, a higher certificate, whether it is a bachelor. You've got to start now, right? And something that we do, and I was very guilty of this, we chatted about that this morning, right? Postponing your studies because work happens, life happens. But how do you postpone investing in the millions you could earn sooner? Right? Why do we put numbers to what a job title is about?
Look, numbers are important, but what I love about this place is they're not pulling you away from making money. So don't postpone your education. You can make money and do that. The only reason I didn't do my MBA or didn't do my doctorate, because I was like, no, guys, I'm not going to eat education. Like, I need to make, financial change.
And that's important, right?
Absolutely. And this place offers you that. It offers you growth without taking away from your current life. It gives you the perfect skills to grow.
100%. Now, don't let finances be the reason you can't study with us. We have flexible payment plans. We even motivate our students to earn money by referring other students. So if you brought a student to us, we pay you for that. And that can go towards discounting your fees. I mean, who makes money by referring students? But here we want to make sure that money is not a barrier to higher education and quality education at a premium private institute in South Africa, which is unattainable for the masses in South Africa, right? And Amanda touched about a conversation we had around Ed for All. Ed for All is our non-profit organization of Regenesys. This is an avenue to get students who are financially disadvantaged, where family incomes are below 10,000 Rand per month. And if you still cannot afford the amazing flexible options that we have, that earning families can really get access to Regenesys, then the last option would be Ed for All. If the family is financially challenged, and we saw that over COVID, gigantic companies collapsed. People that didn't anticipate not having financial burdens were crushed over 2 years. So what am I saying? If you earn under 10,000 Rand, all you pay is 500 Rand per month to have access to a portal to study anywhere. As long as you have a smartphone or a tablet or a laptop and data, you have access into our classrooms. The Dean also spoke about, if you do not attend the live lecture, within 72 hours, those lectures are uploaded online onto your student portal. You have access to it. You write your assignments, do your exams, and you graduate with the rest of the students at Regenesys. So this is not sub-quality education for those that are financially disadvantaged. You sit in the same class, getting the same opportunity, and talking to Amanda's point, you dare to dream bigger, because you dream and you create the reality for yourself. There's no barriers here at Regenesys whatsoever.
It's been such a pleasure having you all. I hope you enjoy the premises, take a look around, have a tour, and see what your future space will look like. Thank you so much.
One final. You can go wild. Go clap before I give you the final, and you can clap again. Let's give Amanda a round of applause for joining us today. Where's that voucher? There's a voucher, if someone can just pick it up for me. There's a voucher in the room, right, that has Amanda Du-Pont's name on it. For all of you that are here today, if you register within 7 days of being here online or in this classroom today with me, you get 10% off your fees. You quote the voucher number that's there. It's tagged to Amanda Du-Pont. You'll also find a link on Amanda Du-Pont's live feed on Instagram, as well as if you go onto the Regenesys website pages after you leave here. But more importantly, we have our salespeople at the back of the room. Go to them, connect. You welcome to ask more detailed questions about your modules, understanding of how you write, what you need to do. With our academics who will make themselves available, and I myself am available. So have a wonderful afternoon with us, and we look forward to registering future graduates at Regenesys Business School. Are you here with us to stay with us? Thank you, everyone. That's a wrap from us. Indrani Reddy, Regenesys Business School, 165 West Street in Sandton. Thank you very much, Amanda. It's a privilege to be with you. Thank you to our academic team. A round of applause for them as well. Good afternoon and have a wonderful day.